Don't say anything I wouldn't say.
Okay, we are live, baby. Uh, oh no, I've exposed the Discord chat. Fuck! Fuck!
Oh my
Fuck!
god. JJ, they don't know my Discord name. The one person who watches our streams now knows my Discord name.
No, dude, no. We can't have that. We can't have that. Not at all. Let's see. Are we? Yes, we are live. Okay, let me just make sure we are good. Let's see. Yes, we are live. Okay, let me just make sure. Can you talk real quick?
Yeah, I can talk real quick.
Yes, we are live. Okay,
I'm gonna talk again. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I can talk real quick. All right, you're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can hear myself in the
Yeah.
background, so it sound good.
All right, so today, as you could see, we are going to be talking about the best anime villains in our opinion. And again, like what every YouTuber says, this is a definitive opinion. Anyone who disagrees with this is absolutely wrong. And if you say we're wrong in the comments, that means you're one, unintelligent, two, a bitch, uh, and three,
And three, a
suck eggs on
communist,
toast.
fascist.
Okay, and a fascist. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, you're a
Speaking of
fascist
which,
communist.
did you read the description I put in the fucking?
I didn't. Let me read it right now. Wait, let me see this. Edit. The ultimate anime villain is the one that was just sorted to office. Wow, did somebody watch a Hassan stream or something? Got
No,
him in
never,
there.
never. Yes, we hit it. We hit it. Another Hassan mention. Let's go. He's better
He'll
than
never
the
not be
fucking
mentioned.
other guy, Destiny, who's a creep now. So,
Yeah, I don't know what that you were telling me a little bit about it. I didn't look into
I mean,
it
just
any
to
further, but
put it in
it's
a general summary, he sent nudes to someone without their consent. No, sorry, he sent someone else's nudes to someone without their consent, and then that person, I believe, got hacked. I don't know if he got hacked or that other person got hacked, but whatever. He wasn't supposed to be sending out those nudes of that other person, and now the other person is really mad and might try to sue him. Basically, that's the gist of it. And fuck him. That's a piece of shit thing to do. And
why can't people
yeah.
just be normal?
I mean,
Why?
take one look at Destiny. He's the definition of not normal. If you just see the man physically, absentee father.
I also
and
think
all.
it's funny because you know how much I watch or I played
Hassan.
Destiny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I played Destiny. That you had to clarify in your message you meant the streamer.
Yeah, because I know you're like, oh, Destiny.
Yeah, I would have been. I definitely would have been like, "What are you talking about?"
I know,
Don't
yeah,
look
yeah.
at me.
Or I was looking just to see if his name popped up on YouTube. But when I looked up Destiny, it was all like the video game instead, which usually it's a good mixture, but like now it's just the video game. So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
whole
Can you
career
hear me?
gone in a day. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I want to make sure. I thought I accidentally hit mute. Okay.
Yeah. Actually,
Yo, we already got a like on the video, dude.
nice, dude. Nice. It's probably the political coverage. Talk again, actually.
Yo, what's
Okay,
going
yeah,
on,
yeah.
chat?
You are. Okay, you're good.
Okay.
Just want to make sure before we continue on, because yeah. All right, so we're gonna be talking about anime villains. Obviously, we're gonna do the slideshow format because I like it, Peter likes it, and yeah, and Jacob Snow, Elon, yes, Elon, famous for his Roman agriculture and studying. Definitely not the other German one.
Yo, Elon is actually one of the anime villains we're gonna be talking about
Yeah,
today.
yes, yeah.
He
You
faked his
know,
Path of Exile
I should have
gameplay,
done
so
it. So the next slide is honorable mentions, and I was like, should I put Elon on here? I didn't know we were going to be talking about this on stream, but I totally would have.
I mean, dude, it happened yesterday. How could we not talk about it?
Brother, like it's not even like out of context. It's like, what context is there, brother?
That was crazy what he did.
Some people are
That
being
was
like,
crazy.
"Oh, he's autistic." I'm like,
No,
oh,
that's not
what?
an excuse. It only
What?
gets you so far.
Yeah.
It's the Kanye conundrum. It only gets you so far
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about he has mental illness.
So, two real life anime villains, but those aren't fun to talk about because they affect our real world. Today, we're going to be talking about stuff that isn't real. But, anyways, you want to get right into it, bud, or you want to talk about anything else?
Nah, I mean, let's just jump right into
Let's
it.
just Guys, let's just jump right into it. Comment below. You'll get a $50 Amazon gift card. No satire, no joking. If you don't get one, don't sue us. It will happen.
All you have to do is give us your social.
Is give us your socials. Yes, yeah. All right, so here are my. I didn't ask you about this. I just put like what I would put as honorable mentions. But if you have some in mind, put that in mind. But I put Chow Tucker for obvious reasons. Crocodile. I thought about putting him on here, but ooh, damn, I didn't have any One Piece villains on here.
That's Shit. Why I was shocked.
I was appalled.
If I were to put some other ones, if we're gonna go the Full Metal route, there's also Envy.
Envy, yes,
is crazy. If we're gonna go, if we're gonna continue with the, I was also I know we're gonna talk about JoJo's in a little bit. It was between Dio and one other character, and that is Shigaraki, I think his name is. Let me pull him up, and I'll send it to you. Okay. JoJo's Part 4 villain. He is like Yoshikage Kira.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you a link to so you can kind of show it on screen if you want.
Cool.
But yeah, that guy is also a really good villain in JoJo's. Funny Valentine too as well in JoJo's.
Peter likes JoJo's also Bizarre Adventure.
I do.
Can you confirm the rumors that you are homosexual?
There's also Zeke the Freak. In Attack on Titan. There's you could consider the War Devil in Chainsaw Man. And I mean, there's the guy from Monster, the Pluto from Pluto.
Fuck! Damn it! I should have put that. God,
so many good villains. Yeah. So those are some of my honorable mentions, but these ones are good ones. I'm actually, you kind of reminded me of Makima.
Yeah, these were the ones that just came up to mind. Of course, with always when we're like, all right, we made the list, but we make them like day of, and then like you just mentioned the Pluto one, and I'm like, God damn it, fuck.
I was thinking about Pluto, but I was like, it's not my favorite villain. You've got some good villains though that we're gonna talk about.
I don't know if it would be my favorite. I gotta reread Pluto because I only read it the one time, but like
that's what I'm saying.
God,
yeah,
Pluto's
that's why I'm like, I was thinking about a lot of One Piece villains, and I was like, I was gonna do Blackbeard. But not yet. Blackbeard is almost there. Same with Kaido.
Kaido, yeah.
But the one that I picked, I think, is the more interesting villain.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah. Well, real quick because you got to go through all yours. Shao Tucker, obviously because sad. And Crocodile. I feel like Crocodile for me is like one of my favorite One Piece characters, and Bucky as well, but like Crocodile is the first like One Piece villain where it's like pure aura, you know what I mean? We got a little bit with that with Arlong, but like Crocodile is just, he's that guy.
Well, yeah, no, that was Crocodile was like at that point was like, this is peak.
Yeah.
Arlong felt a little equal to Luffy. And then obviously before Arlong was, what's his name? Hawkeye? Not Hawkeye. What the heck is his name?
Well, Hawkeye is like way more powerful. Yeah, Hawkeye.
I got the sword. Yeah. It's like he was introduced before Arlong Park. But he wasn't really a villain. He was just more so kind of like an intimidating force. Whereas Crocodile was a part of like 5 different arcs because of just how long they were with V. So yeah, I definitely agree with you with
and then Makima, she's good. Like these would be in my top 10 essentially. Well, Shao Tucker's a little bit of a meme. But well,
Is he though?
pretty much a meme. I mean,
Is
he
he
does
though?
bad, but he's only exists in the manga maybe 4 chapters, and then in the
He is
anime for
the
like 2.
he is the only reason. Like he is cited way in the end of the manga
Yeah, yeah,
or in the story for like Edward and Al
hmm
being like, "We are doing this for her.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We are getting our bodies back for Nina."
Makima is good. She's just like she's a little one note, but
She's one note, but it's
she
because
is
of
menacing.
that like betrayal.
Yeah.
It's that betrayal that you get that happens to Denji that makes you be like, "Oh, she's fucking crazy."
Yeah, yeah. And then just that manga panel is so good, dude. And then Eren Yeager, I don't like. Obviously, he would be in my top 10, but I don't think he's my top 5.
He's just not like he's the problem with Eren is that he's a villain and that not a villain at the same time.
Yes, yeah.
You have someone on this list that portrays that same idea, but it isn't redeemed like Eren is.
Yes,
which is why I don't think Eren belong. I was also contemplating on whether or not to pick Eren, but I was like, whether or not I agree with what he did, I don't consider him a villain because like it's very clear that he's not like doing this for evil's sake, whereas the person that I'm referencing that you added in your list is doing this because they truly are evil.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So the way this is structured, I forget if it's me first or you first, but it's going to be basically I asked Peter, what's your top 5? And then I put my top 5 in. And so it's going to go either me, Peter, me, Peter, me, Peter, me, Peter, or it's going to be Peter, me, Peter, me, Peter, me. We're going to see first. But yeah, it's going to be like ours.
Back and forth.
Back and forth, yeah. Let's get right into it. All right, so it's me.
Hello,
hello,
monkeys.
Monkey, our favorite space racist, Frieza.
Oh man! If the Donald Trump was an anime character,
yeah. Well, I don't know.
This would
Frieza's
be
more
him.
fun, I would say. Whereas, like, the real life political ramification. I mean, undoubtedly, Frieza, if he existed, would be the worst case scenario because he would want to destroy us all. But yeah, I feel like this is just like when you think of anime villain, I'm more coming at it through this. One, he's my favorite Dragon Ball figure, but two, just like the respect for him is where I'm coming from. Like when you think anime villain, Frieza has great build up to him. You really get the sense of like hopelessness in the situation because like, and not only that, but he offs Vegeta and Krillin. Now in the Dragon Ball universe, obviously offing someone doesn't really carry the weight that it does, but like even still, like he's just about as like I loved this particular manga description or part of the story where he gets sawed off a hat. Even when he's sawed off in half, this man is a hater. He still wants to fucking kill Goku and fuck with his friends. Like
he's
so
just evil.
He's
that he
guy.
Through the pain.
Yeah,
he's so evil
yeah.
that he can survive being sliced in half and then try to take out Goku one last try, like one last attempt.
Exactly.
Even when Goku's like, "Yo, chill out. I'm letting you live." Like that was crazy.
He's still like, fuck you, monkey.
Yeah. And then like, how do you feel though about like what they've done with him over the years?
I hate it, dude. Even with Super and stuff, I was just like, I'm not on board. I mean, during the Broly movie, he was fucking hilarious, but like, I don't know. He's kind of been made, unfortunately, like, kind of a joke in my eyes. You know, I just feel like
you know what happens to him in the manga, though, right?
What was that?
You know what happens to him in the manga, right? Like in the Super manga.
I haven't caught up to the Super manga since. Who was going to school? Was Trunks going to school? During that arc, I stopped. One of the kids was going to school.
Because Frieza is now the most powerful being in the universe.
I gotta catch up, I guess.
So,
I don't know. I've been on and off with
yeah.
the Super manga and the anime. I'm not a big fan of. But like, even the Super manga, I'm like on and off about it. Not that the art
it's better
is bad,
than it's better than the anime.
Oh, 10,000%.
But yeah, it's just like it's kind of just like I'm okay. I'm good.
My favorite thing of all time though is like Broly's canon to the manga, but they didn't adapt it for the chapters. They literally at the end are just like, yeah, go watch the Broly movie. It's like,
Well, yeah,
fair
'cause
enough,
they were like,
honestly.
we
Because
have
if you're a
to,
Dragon
yeah.
Ball manga fan, you're a Dragon Ball anime fan. Like,
Because to be
yeah,
honest with you, the movie more so coincides with the manga than
yeah,
it does with the anime
hmm
because of just like the little things they do with like Vegeta being able to go Super Saiyan
yeah.
Red,
And an
which
uncanny
is never
Broly, it
showed.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and but
but anyways, I wouldn't add Broly though because Broly's just hey I am very angry kind of thing. Even with the Super one,
Broly,
and
yeah,
he gets a little bit more development in that than like the original Broly movie, but like Vegeta's just that guy. Like when you think Dragon Ball, you think Super Saiyan Goku versus or sorry, not Vegeta, Frieza. Vegeta is after the Saiyan saga, he's an anti-hero pretty much. Same thing with like Piccolo.
and then just
Um,
straight up a hero,
and
and
then
he's
just
just straight up a hero.
Whereas Frieza stays that hater. He's always that hater. He doesn't. He's not like a Boo where he's like, oh, now I'm just gonna be a cute mascot. No, 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 no. Frieza is a hater and will continue to be a hater till the end of time and space. He's my favorite Dragon Ball villain and my favorite Dragon Ball arc tied with the Saiyan saga. But we have another villain from Mr. Peter from the same series. We're going to talk about Cell.
Real quick, I do love that you're using the Dragon Ball Fighter icons for both Frieza,
I mean, they're
and
just so
Cell.
good. They're just so fucking good, dude.
Obviously, it is very hard to like one up Frieza, and I think Toriyama does a really good job with Cell, making him equally as menacing. I think they drew it out like a lot longer
Mm-hmm.
than with Frieza, so that kind of
Oh,
like
definitely.
defeats the whole thing with Cell. But I think when he becomes perfect Cell, that's where it literally comes to fruition, like what they want this character to be and how he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think what he does for Gohan as a character, when the original idea was to take Goku out and put Gohan as the titular character,
Mm-hmm.
um, they do such a great job with demonstrating Cell's strength and the way he's able to itch that part of Gohan out that has been teased throughout the whole series, and then just the pure like destruction that Cell reigns over Earth. Because the thing with Frieza is we don't really care about Namek.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna be so honest with you, I could care less about the Namekians. Um, Whereas like we
Damn.
care about Earth. We
Damn. So
care about Goku's home.
you're part of the pro Frieza agenda.
Yeah, yeah. Damn those green bastards. But no, like we care about Earth, and that's
Yeah.
why, like, on top of the whole like Goku dying and
Mm-hmm.
like Cell killing Goku and all of that, or Goku sacrificing himself, um, we feel also the weight in the overall situation where it's like, damn, he's threatening Earth and he's like destroying and massacring towns.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like the tie-in with future Trunks
Mm-hmm.
and him being like taking the androids and eating them, and this threat that destroyed the universe in one timeline is easily defeated by this green monstrosity.
Mm-hmm.
So like it really shows the weight and power of Cell, and that's something I really like as a villain.
Yeah.
That he's able to like not only show his strength, but also like in the mental game of like fucking with all the characters. He's able to manipulate Vegeta and make him, you know, go Super Saiyan perfect Cell,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's able to just defeat all the Super Saiyans until Gohan shows up and is like, "Yo, I'm finally able to be the hero I need to be." And then of course the father-son Kamehameha moment is truly one of the best moments in Dragon Ball.
I will say,
I think it's way better than the Super Saiyan Goku moment.
I think I would disagree. As far as like iconic goes, like when people think about Super Saiyan, it's Super Saiyan Goku. But like I will
And Super
agree,
Saiyan 2 Gohan, that's what
I
I'm
will
saying
agree.
though. Like,
Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is iconic as well, though. Like I will say that's like the better moment. But as far as like iconic, like Super Saiyan
yeah,
Goku versus Frieza is hands down. I will say though, with Cell, they respect him. He's pretty much stayed dead. Whereas like with Frieza, they're like, I don't know, you guys want to bring Frieza back, and it's like, oh
it's just
God.
because people like Frieza more.
I know.
I think
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
people like Frieza more. The problem with Cell is, like I said, the and it's the same thing with Boo.
Hmm.
Kid Boo is just like the way the
He doesn't really have
that
that
arc
staying
goes
power,
through.
which is
Yeah,
fine, because like him just being gone and we haven't seen him, I believe, uh, since the
just
Cell
in movie
Saga. I think,
spinoffs,
yeah,
just in the movie spinoffs, and
think
that's
that's
it.
fine. I think that's perfectly fine. Yeah, Cell's obviously iconic. The backstory to him is very funny too. We've talked about it a little bit on stream, but the Cliff Notes
Yeah,
version is like originally it was just going to be the Goku versus the androids, but then his editor's like, nah, fuck that old guy and the chubby guy. You need to develop something else. And then it was the younger androids. It's like, I don't like that either. And it's like, fine, how about this creepy lizard looking thing? He's like, no, make him better. And it's like, how about him overly muscle? And it's like, no. And then that's where Perfect Cell comes from. He's like, all right, that's good. So like literally like Akira Toriyama is not fighting, but like his editor is giving him more and more, and in a way it's like, wow, what a dick. But also we wouldn't get Perfect Cell from that exchange, and it's not like Akira
we
Toriyama
wouldn't.
was like, fuck
Yeah,
this, like fuck you. It was like, okay, I need to push myself to develop something better. And Perfect Cell is really really menacing, especially like one of the moments for me for Cell is like when he goes onto like TV and he just interrupts that news broadcast. He's like, hey, I developed this whole battleground, and like if no one defeats me, then I'm gonna blow up the earth. Like that's just like, that's cold as hell. Like that's so
yeah.
fucking cool. Like both Frieza and
And
Cell
when he comes
have that
back,
menacing
oh my
aura.
god, when he comes back,
Yeah.
it's like just as crazy when you see his beam come through the smoke and kill
Hmm.
Trunks.
Or when he
Like,
even does the Kamehameha, you're just like, what the fuck? Like he could do that? Like,
yeah, him using everybody's abilities is also kind of like scary.
yeah.
It's like, oh, he knows everybody's power. Like
Hmm.
he knows after losing to Goku and seeing him use instant transmission, he learned it instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's able to use it. He teleported back to Earth to fight and defeat the heroes after
Hmm.
Goku sacrificed himself. So it's like
Yeah.
this guy's tough as nails, bro.
Yeah, dude.
So
Um, but all right, moving on to my next pick. We have Light Yagami. This was the character we were talking about before with Aaron. Aaron is, while he's evil, toward the end, like you see his journey, so you're more sympathetic toward him. You see the journey with Light too, but Light is more out front with the evilness. You know what I mean? And I think with Light, he's the classic example of a villain with good intentions, but obviously his intentions are really fucked, especially toward the end. Like, sure, a basic concept. Oh, let's just kill all the bad people with the death note. It's like, well, who are you to say that? You know,
it's power. It's
and
power.
not
He
only
has
that,
the power to do it.
but he also has no problem with just like lying to the people around him, loved ones and stuff like that. He doesn't care. He uses. He basically. What's the girl's name again? He uses her essentially. Like he's a person that just uses people. They're like. They're an accessory to his crimes, kind of thing. Like he just has no passion or empathy for anyone else. So like that's why I really do view him as a villain. Whereas like Aaron, it was more of like just a deception, because then at the very end he's just like, I want to marry Mikasa. I want. He was crying like a little bitch about it. It's like, oh, that's what he was feeling internally. But like,
Oh,
he couldn't.
he's still that little
Yeah,
boy that we watched.
yeah.
The still
Whereas
the
Light
innocent
is just
guy.
pure like, fuck y'all. Until the very end, in the manga at least, where he's begging for his life, which is like the better ending, in my opinion, where he's just like, wait, I don't want to die. It's like, motherfucker, you just killed all these people, and like now you expect us to be like, oh, but like he's okay, I guess. No, like you're an asshole.
You're still terrible.
Yeah.
You are still an evil,
Mhm.
evil person.
Yeah.
And that's what I think makes Light an actual villain compared to Aaron, is just like that pure, like it gets to his head.
Mhm.
Whereas like Aaron did it out of a necessity. He was like, this is to just reset the world.
Yeah.
Light did it eventually for his own ego.
Yeah. And
Like the
I
whole freak out is that ego, like
like,
coming out and spilling out.
if nothing were to ever happen to Aaron, I think he would be a stable person. I feel like if Light didn't get the Death Note, he would still be evil in a way. I think he always had like that darkness in him, because he's pretty much been the way he's been since the beginning. It's not like the Death Note changed him. I think it just unlocked his true self. Whereas like
Yeah,
what you're saying, like with Aaron, it was like I hate Titans. It was bred into him. Whereas like with Light, there was always something part of him, whether he had the Death Note or he did something else
it's
with
like
his life.
the Joker thing, one bad day.
Society.
Yeah, it really is that, and that's what I think makes Light an interesting character, is because it's that duality you have, and it's mainly in the first half of the series. The
Mhm.
second half, it is very clear they want you to root for N and M.
Yeah.
Um, but in the first half of the series, it's an enjoyable back and forth between him and L,
Hmm.
because you're like you want L to win because obviously Light is starting to do things for his own sake,
Yeah.
but you also want Light to win because he's the first person you meet
Hmm.
and you understand his cause because you have been in his perspective the whole time.
Hmm. Yeah.
So like it was such a fun like dynamic to watch and to see Light defeat L
Hmm.
and truly become Kira is where we could tell like, oh, this guy's now a villain, like he's bad
Yeah.
and we should not be rooting for him anymore
Hmm.
because yes, he saves the world, but what is the cost of that? Like now we are all subjugated to this, to like some guy who's choosing whether or not we live or die.
Yeah, it's like a brother eye situation where it's like, oh, I better
Yeah.
not do anything wrong, or Kira will come after me. It's like it gave people, instead of people feeling a sense of safety, it gave them a sense of like anxiety. It's like, oh, I hope I don't do anything that would upset Kira, and like that's what Kira wanted. He didn't want to just be like, oh, I'm doing this for good. He wanted to be a martyr. He wanted to be a godlike figure.
He wanted power.
Yeah,
He wanted to be the one in charge. It
yeah,
it started off as a good thing, but it turned into something
hmm,
way worse. And then the background shot you're using for Light when he gets caught,
hmm,
um, like that encompasses everything about him.
yeah,
He was doing this for himself,
hmm,
his own ego, his own lust for
for
power and
power.
strength.
Yeah,
And it's hilarious that Misa survives
hmm,
longer than him and he dies, and
yeah, yeah,
she like halved her life like 10 times in the series.
hmm,
So yeah, um I agree with you. Light is like so good as a villain.
yep.
It's so fun to see him turn into that villain.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of the show, right? It's just see like, God, how is he getting away with the shit? But also like, God, this is kind of entertaining, but also like, fuck Light.
Yeah, for
uh,
real.
yeah. Anyways, your pick is Doflamingo.
All right, this was the one time where we were when I was reading One Piece and I was like, "Oh, I actually hate the villain." like there's the
Okay,
world government
you hate him,
and
but he got the drip, bro. He got the drip. He
I mean,
rocks that
yeah.
shit like crazy.
And just like what I like about the Dressrosa arc
Hmm.
is just like you're so a lot of the arcs, they try to what I like about the One Piece crew, especially in the second half of the series, or the Straw Hats, is that they're very much like the One Note character. They don't need to grow yet. There
Hmm.
are times where they do grow, like when they go after Big Ma.
Yeah.
But in this arc, they're very much like we're going to embrace the change
Hmm.
by just being ourselves, and all the other characters around them, the new characters, reacting to the Straw Hats.
Hmm.
And to see them help this country rise up to somebody who is truly just using the country even worse than Crocodile was.
Yeah.
Because at least Crocodile was just like there, like as a shadow puppet.
Hmm.
Don Flamingo was like, I rule this town. Like everyone knows I'm in charge.
Yeah.
And what he does to all the people that he hates, turning them into toys, and the Colosseum fights, making the daughter of one of the king or whoever that guy was,
Hmm.
uh, battle constantly in the Colosseum,
Hmm.
and then just also like Don Flamingo's background and him being being marginalized and treated like garbage by the peasants, making him be this way to peasants, to the lower class.
Yeah.
And then for Luffy to just be like, nah, what are you doing to my boy, what the fuck is his name? The guy with the leopard hat.
Oh, Law.
Law.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, that's
Law's
my boy.
I love Law.
Law's,
And Law's
yeah.
backstory during this is so good too. Right? That's during
Yeah, it's during this. Yeah, because he's going to kill Don Flamingo for killing like somebody that he
yes,
that he knew.
Yep.
Yeah. So, like, in a very similar way to like other, forget that point. What I like about this arc is that everything comes together because it's all Don Flamingo. Like he causes everything for all the characters in this arc.
Yeah.
And then it's the Straw Hats that come in and save the day. And Don Flamingo just being menacing. Like even when you first meet him, you're like, he's very flamboyant. He's very crazy and funny. He's just trying to be weird. But like, you're like, this guy's clearly strong. He's a warlord of the sea. And if he's like laughing at Crocodile losing and like being like, I could have done better, it's like, oh God, how powerful is this guy? And he's like, and what is this? This is right after Punk Hazard.
Yep.
And the Fishman arc, right? Like this is our first big villain of the
New
Grand
World
line.
Yeah.
Of New World.
Yeah.
Of New World. So it's like, okay, now he, just like Crocodile, he sets a standard for New World. And then obviously Big Ma and Kaido are the other standards, the Emperor standards. But he's like, oh, I used to be a warlord. I can control this one area, and I even make the world government afraid of me, and I'm not even an emperor. It's like, oh, this guy's strong. This guy's tough, and and he's grabbing onto that power vacuum left behind by Whitebeard. So, and he has his nose in like every little thing in the first two arcs. So it's like, oh shit, this guy means business.
Yeah.
And so I really like him. In One Piece, I think he's so far the best villain that I've actually cared about watching and or reading. Because even like in the newer arcs where he's reading about the world government, he's like, I knew this all along, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
He's like laughing at the
he has
revelation
and everything. It's just like how threatening he is and stuff like that. Like just like fucking with Luffy and the crew as well. Like he does a lot for the Straw Hat crew, I believe. Like he's the type of villain where like there's not really a lot of compromise to him, if you know what I mean. Like he's like, I'm going to do this, and like there's nothing you could do to stop me, kind of thing. Whereas like with Crocodile and stuff, there was a bit of that, but like Crocodile still had a little bit of humanity with him. Like I feel like Don Flamingo, he may look flamboyant, but goddamn, he's a fucking demon. Like
yeah, he's a monster. He just wants to see the world burn.
Yeah, he's the Joker, baby.
He is the Joker of One Piece.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think I could really add on. You pretty much covered
you're good.
everything.
You're good.
But like,
you're good.
Yeah. Also, arc that introduced Law. Law is my boy. I love Law.
Punk Hazard's the one that introduces
I even
Law.
love when Law turns into a lady for like 5 seconds. That was pretty good.
Wasn't that Smoker? You're talking about Smoker.
No, Law in what was it, during Wano? I think, or after Wano. Who has that ability to gender swap? I forget what happened. But like for 5 seconds.
It was Punk Hazard where everybody became
no.
Places.
It was definitely after. It was like one of the recent chapters. It's where Kid got his ass beat. What the fuck?
Oh, if it's after Kid getting his ass beat again by
I think it's during.
by Shanks.
I don't remember. But anyways.
Because we don't... Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways. We're going to talk about Gundam. We're going to talk about Gundam. So, Char Aznable, the man, the myth, the legend, the Red Comet, the sexiest mobile suit pilot of all time. Char Aznable is like classic what's the word I'm looking for? He reeks of confidence, basically. Um, he's like he's so good at what he does, at everything he does. You know, he's one of those like villains that like no matter what happens, the villain's like, yeah, I have one leg up, or sorry, if the heroes have, yeah, we have a leg up on you. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna figure something else out. Like he never gets like ruffled, you know what I mean? He's like, oh fuck these fucking guys. He's just like, okay, I will just figure out the next steps to destroy you, essentially. And he's a villain of circumstance. You know, the reason why the way he is because of what the Earth Federation did with his parents and stuff like that. And he's like, okay, I have to climb up the ranks. Like he's very much like a villain that's like, I'm going to do everything in my power to get to the most powerful position. And he does that in Char's counterattack, where he's like, Earth Federation took everything from me. He's like a character where, like, in the Mobile Suit series, he's young and brash, and then, like, as the later series progress, such as Zeta, where he actually becomes somewhat of a protagonist, if you're seeing it from the Zeon's point of view. And then Double Zeta, he's kind of mentioned in that, and then Char's counterattack, he's like, all right, this is where it's all been leading up to. We're going to take this asteroid and we're going to slam it down on Earth. Now the space colonies will exist, and stuff like that. This is really hard to explain for people who like are into Gundam. And we would be here all day if I had to explain every aspect of it.
Mhm.
But especially space racism, people who were born in space and lived in space, the Earth Federation is like, fuck you, like we still own you. And it's like the space colonies are like, well, no, like we're in space now, we can govern ourselves. And then that's what caused a 1 year war and this whole conflict, essentially. Gundam is a series where there's no bad guy. War is the bad guy, essentially.
Yeah.
Because you can see where Earth Federation is coming from, where Zeon like does massive attacks on the Earth, and it's like, wow, this is really fucked up. But at the same time, it's like you can understand where the space colonies, aka Zeon's, coming from, because they're like, well, we want to govern ourselves. This wouldn't have happened if you guys let us just do our own thing. And Char is like the Zeon boy. He's so bought into it, you know.
Mhm.
And then eventually he just becomes evil. He's just so competent. He's one of those like villains you love to see. Like, are you familiar with Aizen from Bleach?
I only saw him
Somewhat.
turn evil.
He's kind of like that. He has plans on top of plans and stuff like that. But he doesn't pull them out of his ass like Aizen does. It's like, oh shit, you were preparing that from the get go. Oh my god. Whereas Aizen's
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, because plot said so, I knew about this. And it's like, what?
Yeah, me and Ichigo are gonna go hang out in this
Yeah.
pocket dimension for 3 days so he can train to come back to save Rukia. It's,
Yeah.
don't get me started
Whatever.
on Bleach. Dude.
Bleach
I
is
fucking
cool.
hate that
Bleach is
series.
cool looking, and I love Bleach. Bleach is Kingdom Hearts. You know what I mean?
At least Kingdom Hearts like doesn't do like it does stupid shit, but at least I can get behind it. I can't get behind Bleach. I can't.
It's fine. It's not for everyone. But yeah, Char's just that guy, and like, you know, his suits are so good, dude. His mobile suits or his Zaku's are so good. Like, this is the red Zaku. This is
What'd you just call me?
what?
What'd you just call me? A
Zaku.
Saku? That's rude as hell. That's rude as hell.
the suit. That's what the suit is called.
That sounds.
I unironically
inappropriate.
think I know.
That's demonetized.
I know.
That's
Hold on.
demonetized.
Hold on, I know, but like, okay, watch Gundam Origins. I promise you will like it. I promise you will drink the Kool-Aid after Origins. I promise you.
Maybe.
No, you're not. Maybe means no, which is fine because giant robots are cool and you don't like cool things. But yeah, Char is just—he's the boy.
You know I like giant robots. I watched Thunderbolts. I watched Iron Blood Orphans. Like, quit acting like I don't. I've never watched
Thunderbolts
Gundam.
is the only one that's in continuity. Iron Blood Orphans is good though, even though it's outside of the mainline Universal Century timeline. But yeah. Anyways, this could be your new One Piece. I'm just saying. But that's enough about my manga shit. You have Father as your next pick.
Yeah, I think like
Full Metal Alchemist.
I'm surprised you didn't pick any Full Metal, being that that's
I was
your favorite,
thinking about it,
your
but
favorite manga.
it is my favorite manga of all time, and the villains are good in them. I think if I had to pick a villain from Full Metal, it would probably be Envy. Um, or no, actually, it would probably be King Bradley. Um, but
Wrath. You would pick
or
a Wrath.
yeah, aka King
That's a good
Bradley.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was gonna say you could pick any one of these. Like you've got Lust, like,
Are you
and the
doing a
whole thing with
technicality, motherfucker? Are you doing? Well,
absolutely
technically,
not,
there are. Okay, all
absolutely
right, all
not,
right, all
absolutely not. I am
right.
sticking with Father, but I'm
Okay.
trying to say why I pick Father out of all of them, which is because he is the one that created them all. This whole plan, the whole yes, while all of them like Envy helped start the war in Ishval,
Hmm.
Father is the one that wanted it,
Yeah.
caused multiple genocides around the what the fuck is the land called?
Oh, Ishval.
Not Ishval.
Um.
Like the main land that they're all in. I don't know. I
Why am
don't
I
care.
blanking on this?
But
It's
he's like
it's gonna
he
come to me at the end.
he creates the whole like kingdom.
Hmm.
He created everything, and everybody's lives are essentially just like for his to use, so he could just see the truth. And even when he sees the truth, he can't grasp it. He's not allowed to use it for any way. Um, and like having that deeper connection.
Amistress.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then for him to have that deeper connection with Ed and Al as they're like, well, he's essentially like their dad too, because
Yeah, in a way.
because of Hohenheim in a way, because father is just born out of Hohenheim,
Hmm.
with Hohenheim's blood, um, and the power he exudes when you first meet him underground, and Al and Ed are like, who is this guy? Like he's just creating things out of nothing, and all of the sacrifices he had, like he did to obtain that power,
Yeah.
um and turning the whole land into a giant um alchemy circle just to sacrifice everyone in the
Yes.
land to just create a giant philosopher's stone and a
Hmm.
giant gate, and creating wars in the north and in the south for his own gain.
Hmm.
Like it's not like and this fueling the racism in the world, making the people in the world like normalize it.
Hmm.
Like he is the true ruler of the
I
of
yeah. I also think he like exudes like I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Like Sauron type energy where it's like
yeah.
so hopeless and impossible to stop him. Like he really does bring that. Like with other villains that we've named on this list so far, it's like there's a chance, you know. Whereas like Father, like even at the end, it's like, dude, how the fuck are we even gonna get out of this? Like he's powerful. He's
Like they only won because essentially greed
hmm.
created a mutiny inside of Father's body,
Yeah,
and all of the souls rebelled in his body.
literally. Yes, that's like
Like
how they defeated him. It almost had nothing to do with like Ed and Alphonse interfering. Like they could do absolutely nothing to stop him.
he was literally the Doc Ock meme,
Hmm.
the palm of the sun, the power of the sun in the
So the
palm in
palm
his
of my hand.
hand,
Yeah.
and he just created a mini sun.
Hmm.
Like that's how powerful he became
Yeah.
because of all the sacrifices
And
in the world.
I think him just like even splitting his personalities into the seven deadly sins, aka the
Yeah.
homunculuses and stuff. Um, like that also allowed him to be like, okay, I can, like that's why he's so detached. He's like, I separated this so I would have no empathy or compromise in my mission. Like he cares about his mission. Um, Damned anything else that gets in his way. And even his henchmen, like the homunculus, throughout the entire series, are like they're fucking hard to kill, you know. And that's only because they were created from such a powerful being, you know. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I will say like he's got some iconic moments, but like
It's
obviously
Envy that's the more
Envy and
interesting
Lust, Envy
villain.
and Lust because just I mean Lust, but like for her death because when Roy Mustang burns that bitch, it's like you're like yelling yes from the top of your lung, and then like when Envy like gets taken care of, you're just like, that's for Hughes, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
And like just how
Yeah.
pitiful Envy is. That's why I would put her or I don't think it's gender specific. They never say it. I don't know
Yeah.
if they say it in the anime. They definitely don't say it
They
in the
don't.
manga.
They don't.
But like it's how pitiful they are. It's kind of like the Light Yagami thing where it's just like, yes, I thrive off of evil, and then like when they come close to death or like their power taken away, it's just like, oh no, please take pity on me. It's like pity.
You started a war. You helped start
Yeah,
a war. You killed
you killed that kid.
Hughes.
You killed that kid. That was all you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, father is a really good pick. I had to force myself not to do a Full Metal because I'm always the Full Metal guy. I'm like, no, I can't just be the Full Metal guy all the time. I have to pick something.
You're either the
else.
Spider-Man guy or the Full Metal guy. You could be either or. You just
True,
gotta choose when to
true.
use it.
Yeah. Some like poopy caca. I say cocky poo poo. Anyways, next one is your pick. Oh fuck! I fucked this
Again,
up,
Vicious.
But, it's fine. Vicious. Yes.
Oh man, what a cool character Vicious is. I think what I like about Vicious is that he's not there entirely. I think in total
Mm-hmm.
he is in this series for like 5 episodes.
Yep.
And then he's in like the last 3, and just like what he does to Spike is what is interesting about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he portrays Spike for no reason.
Yep.
And pretty much puts him they're best buds, and all he just wants is to just gain power and strengthen, and it fucks over Spike, so that's why we hate him.
Yeah.
You fuck over our boy.
Yeah.
And
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
just his mere presence changes the way Spike is.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spike is like, in the first episode you could tell Spike is very serious when he needs to be and very goofy in other moments.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when he sees Vicious, it is no games. It is all work. It is time to
gas,
kill.
no breaks. Yeah.
And like this moment in the church where they see eye to eye for the first time, in a long time, and like Spike almost losing to Vicious and just lucky enough to survive because of Jet and Faye.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like Faye being like, Spike, you're gonna die if you go see Vicious.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I have to do this. Like,
Yeah.
to have that much power over one man is crazy. Especially to a character we love.
He's a good example of like a villain where like the main character will do everything and ignore everything in his path to kill that guy. You know, like because of what he did to Spike and stuff like that.
This is like their thing is like Space Sopranos. Like, let's be for real.
Yeah, it is.
Like, and like that final scene where they're together and like they both have that respect for one another, being like, I know you're better with swords and you know I'm better with guns, so let's give each other our weapons and make this one final draw.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, it's so badass. And Spike like pretty much going commando mode and trying to storm the building and get to Vicious to kill him. Like, Vicious doesn't do anything like remotely bad, you know. He's just a gangster in an uncivilized
it's just
space
what he
world
means to the character that makes
that we
him such a
love.
villain.
The character that we love is what makes him a villain.
Yeah, no, I agree. For me, he's just, there's not a lot to him, you know what I mean? It's more so what he means to our main character that makes him an evil guy. So I wouldn't necessarily put him in my top 5, but like he's still a good villain, good design, and everything like that. But yeah, poopy caca, cocky poo poo, Askeladd, baby. Now this might be a better example of what Vincent Valentine is. Like just like Askeladd is so cruel, especially to Thorfinn. By the way, gonna be spoiling a little bit of Vinland Saga here because I feel like it is necessary. Um, but I think Askeladd is like a great example of everything we've talked about so far, right? Like the villain that always has a plan ahead. He's always just able to adapt on the fly. And then what he means to our character Thorfinn, he essentially helped kill Thorfinn's father. But it's such a unique relationship between villain and protagonist because the protagonist is living with the villain in order to kill him. It's like the opening chapters the after Thorfinn's a little bit grown up is like, oh god, Thorfinn wants to fight again. Okay, and then he gets his ass handed to him, and then Thorfinn is just like, god damn it, like all I want to do is kill you. The main crux of the first 68, 69 chapters of the prologue of Vinland Saga, essentially, of Thorfinn is his whole basis is to kill Askeladd. And Askeladd, throughout the manga / anime, depending, is, hey, there's a lot more to than this revenge you have. Like, once I'm gone, will you feel fulfilled? And then Thorfinn is like, absolutely, I fucking will. It's like, you're not, hey, kid, you're not listening to me. And he isn't, like, that's not to say, oh, well, he's such a good guy. No, he's a fucking asshole. Like, he's a villain. He is a Viking. Like, he does terrible shit and lets his men do terrible shit. But for what he needs to the character, it just, like, goes beyond any manga.
It's like a fucked up father figure.
It's
like
a fucked up reverse father figure. Exactly.
Like,
it's like an Ellie and Joel type of thing, but if Ellie really fucking hated Joel.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Because like Askeladd, like, to me, when I saw you put him on there, I'm like, yeah, he's a villain in some aspects. But like you said, what he tries to teach Thorfinn throughout the whole thing is like, what you're doing is pointless. Like, you need to live your life.
Yep.
You need to stop. And like, even in the end, like, even when like Thorfinn has like in later in the manga where he's having like fucking like nightmares, he sees Askeladd, and Askeladd's like,
oh yeah, during the hell nightmares, those are so good.
He's like, this is what I didn't want you to become.
Yeah.
Like, he's even like, I told you not to be this.
You didn't fucking listen to me, kid. Now look where you are.
And it's like, you're going to be like me when you die. And it's up to you to change that fate. And like, so like, in a way, like, yes, to Thorfinn and to the world, he seems evil, but his intentions are there to be like, I killed your dad because it was my job. Like, I didn't do it out of any hate or love for the guy. I did it because I was
personal,
told to.
Kid.
It literally was like, nothing personal. I killed your dad because it was my job. I do this because it is my job. I do this because I love to do it. And I do this because of like who I am as a person.
And the most important thing about Askeladd is his death, because with most, I've rarely seen this happen in like revenge. So just for background for me, my like favorite storyline is the angry, edgy, like, I just want revenge character, and then that villain obviously has to equal that as well. I've never seen in a piece of media, maybe you have, but I've never seen a piece of media where, one, that person has become a father figure, and two, in the end, the revenge is taken from the character. Like, I've never really seen that. And once that happened, once someone else killed Askeladd, and then Thorfinn has to just be like, that was mine. My whole identity was to kill you, and like, now who am I? Like, Thorfinn essentially based his entire existence on killing Askeladd, and someone else took that from him. In essence, he probably thought, all I want is you dead. But no, he specifically wanted to take Askeladd's life, and that was just ripped right from him. Now what are you?
And that was the whole purpose of Askeladd being the father figure, is to be like you said, what are you going to do when I die?
Yeah.
Who are you going to be when I die?
He always wanted Thorfinn to be his own person, but like, Thorfinn is just so stubborn that he can't get past that.
Because he witnessed, like, Thorfinn is a child.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't understand like right from wrong, and he's being thrown into a world where
He's
murdering
still doing
people is
Naruto
right.
runs. Why,
Yeah,
Thorfinn? that was out
like
of style in the early
cringe.
2000s.
That's cringe. And for him to see him evolve into the person he truly wants to be
Mm-hmm.
is what makes what makes Askeladd like not really a villain, but like something even beyond that, like a mentor figure.
I think what
Like
makes him a villain is he truly is a cruel person. But it is of the times, obviously that's how Vikings and stuff were, but like he does fucked shit.
like like for me that's where I see it. It's like
Yeah.
he's a villain in the fact that he just murders innocent people.
He's a villain of
But
his time
so did-
period.
But so did Thorfinn.
Yeah.
Like Thorfinn did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes the manga interesting is
Yeah.
that Thorfinn recognizes this evil and cruelty that he did.
Yeah.
That he did as a kid, and he's trying to redeem it. And Askeladd telling him,
Mhm.
you do not need to be me.
Yeah. And his death really does, like, at that point in the manga, it's like, this is something special and different. And, like, Askeladd's death isn't just like okay, like, Thorfinn mentions him all the time throughout the, 300 plus chapters, something like that. Like, he's still, like, a major thing that haunts Thorfinn. And, like, Thorfinn has finally, in the recent chapters, just been like, I have come to see in like hindsight that like I should have listened. I should have just walked the fuck away and lived a peaceful life. But like because I was so ingrained in vengeance, like it truly did blind me. And like it's not a simple revenge bad. It's much more complicated than that. And it just doesn't end with revenge bad. It's like, well, how do we improve upon this?
The manga never tells you that revenge is bad or even that,
and it doesn't answer that. It doesn't give a definitive answer.
Yeah,
it's just
just tells you
it
what are you
poses
going to
the
get
question.
out of it. What are you getting out of it?
Yeah.
Like it's never revenge is bad or revenge is good. It's
Mhm.
or even if murder is good and murder is bad, it is just telling you what do you get out of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you get out of all this senseless violence? What do you get out of revenge? What do you get out of killing and pillaging and essaying villagers and everything and the slave trade? What do you get out of it?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, what is the right way to build a society?
Yeah.
And to me, Askeladd is like that crux for Thorfinn and being like, do I want to be like Askeladd, who's accepted the world that I live in and just embrace the violence, or do I go a different path?
Yeah.
And we're seeing that different path.
Like I feel like after the prologue of Vinland Saga, it really is a Rorschach of like, am I experiencing Vinland Saga because I want to see cool action fight scenes, or do I actually really care about these characters? Because we've said it before, like past the prologue, some people just drop off of Vinland Saga. It's like, but I wanted the cool fights and like the Askeladd and like Thorfinn revenge, right? Like it really is a Rorschach of, are you reading Vinland Saga for the right reasons, kind of thing. And like if it's not your thing, if you're just looking for shonen battles and stuff, that's great. But like Vinland Saga is not that. It becomes farming simulator, and it is the like I heard about that. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with this, and
it becomes a philosophy
I was reading the manga
class.
and I was like, I am so into this. Like I am so into like how many trees are they gonna chop down? Like Finland,
dude. Thorfinn's getting ripped.
yeah. And like Thorfinn actually making friends and stuff, and not just becoming like a husk of a person. Oh my god, so good. I think the next one is the last one. I don't remember.
My last one, and then your last ones after this. We're gonna talk about truly one of the greatest villains ever put to paper. Dio Brando is such an evil person that he has been torturing the Joestar family for generations and between timelines.
Frieza level of hatred.
It really is.
But more personal in a way.
He got his head cut off. He then put his head and cut off that body and cut off the head of Jonathan Joestar and his body is his best friend's body. Do you understand that?
Hmm.
He's
I
using
read
Jonathan
the first
Joestar's body.
two
Can
parts.
you understand? Like, this dude is evil for evil's sake. He is truly just like, I am doing this because I can.
Yeah.
And especially in part 3, just like he brings an aura that throughout the whole series, and you don't even see that aura until the end, like the fruition of that. Like, because in part 1, it is very clear that he's just like an evil vampire, and it's like, oh, we got to kill this vampire. But then in part 3, when he comes back, he's like, he just exudes this aura of like, I am the strongest. He can pause time.
Hmm.
He can pause time for like 10 seconds, and then Jotaro has the same power as him. Just what makes Dio a good villain is that he is just pure, unadulterated hatred.
Hmm.
He grew up poor. He was abandoned and treated like shit, and then he joined the Joestar family and just took it over.
Yep.
Killed the dad, stole Jonathan's bitch, like he and like tormented a town. And then after that, he learned how to do stand powers
Hmm.
and has the most powerful stand in the world.
Yeah.
The world though. Like he is the power. He is the greatest. He's like the top power level in the world. Like, he's the strongest character in the world, and his existence even tortures Jonathan's kids, or Joestar's kid, Jotaro's kids.
Hmm.
Tortures his own child, Giordano Giovanni,
Hmm.
because Giordano Giovanni is Dio's child.
Hmm.
And then in part 8, after part 7, after part 6, he comes back,
Hmm.
like a different Dio Brando exists in part 7 because the timeline changes
Is
and
that
gets reverted.
Speedball Run?
Yeah, Steel Ball Run.
Ball Run.
There's a Dio Brando in that he becomes like a reptile villain and he dies. He's kind of pointless in Steel Ball Run. But then after Johnny Joestar finally beats the villain, Funny Valentine, and is about to beat the race, out of nowhere, Dio with the world shows up. Like, this Dio shows up to kill Johnny for no reason. He just wants to kill a Joestar. His goal in life is to kill the Joestar family and to torture them forever and then rule the world.
Hmm.
He is a peak villain that he transcends time and space just to defeat the Joestars. I just think he's a fun villain too. I mean, look at those poses. Look at that most iconic pose you put on the left of them walking to each other. I will approach you. And like that scene is so iconic that it's memed to hell. Like, and his outfit, he's got like hearts on his boot. Dude. He's got drip. He's got hearts, and it's like he's got these hearts, but he's really just like, he murders people for fun. He just does it because he can.
He killed that dog in the first part. That was fucked up. Unnecessary.
Yeah, but Dio is like, he just like, it's his aura. He like exudes like evil, and his voice actor, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, it is insane, the Japanese voice actor for Dio, how good he is. His screams, his ranting, it's how Dio would talk. Like, it is just like perfect. Dio is a villain for the ages. He just exudes an evil presence that, like, while I think Yoshikage Kira is my favorite villain out of the villains in JoJo's, Dio is the best villain in JoJo's, because he is in every piece of JoJo's, whether you like it or not. Like, he's just there. His presence somehow fucked the world, and he is now there. So,
very elegantly put. I only read the first 2 part of JoJo's. I haven't read it in like 4 years, so I will take everything what you say as absolute fact. If you get it wrong, please blame Peter.
Agreed.
All right,
On
last
to
one, mine.
the last
Guess
one.
what? It's gonna be a big surprise. Said no one ever. Yeah, it's Griffith. It's Griffith. It's Griffith. Like we all understand, right? It's like best anime, Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, Jack really likes Berserk because everyone likes Berserk. Yes, everyone does. There's a reason because it's so fucking good. You know, it's not like, oh, we didn't put Griffith on the list to be different. Like, no, like I feel like there is no debate. Like usually there's it anime and manga. There's no like objective opinion. Everyone has a say in everything, but like for people who have read Berserk, it's like, oh, yeah, Griffith is like the number one, at least for me, like the number one villain. Like he's just up there. If he's not in your top three, he's in your top five. Like he's the things he does and like the build up for him is just like so good. Like really, like when people speak of betrayal, like Griffith should show up in the dictionary under betrayal. Like he's just like, god damn, and he I feel like he really represents everything we've been talking about. He's got confidence. He's competent. Has a cause that he's willing to do anything for. A lot of other villains and stuff are derivatives of Griffith, especially like in the Castlevania series. Like he is just, or even in the Elden Ring, like every really fucked up evil character in media is a derivative of Griffith. Just like every edgy boy is a derivative of fucking Guts, you know. And you know, we've talked about Berserk a lot on the show anytime we bring up manga especially, but what he does to Casa during the eclipse, like I was thinking like of putting a bunch of manga panels on here, but like this piece of artwork just like is the perfect representation.
If you know, you
Griffith.
know.
Yes,
That's what.
if you
That's
know,
what's
you know.
great about
like,
it.
He just like he's like, I'm willing to sacrifice everything for my cause. Fuck anyone else. And it's just like Jesus Christ. And it's not like one of those things where it's just like it's not like an Aaron or like Light Yagami. It's like even after the fact, it's like, well, he did do all that fucked up shit, but like look at this kingdom that he's done. Like it does on the outside as of right now, like look like a pretty peaceful place. But what he did there is completely unjustifiable. You know what I mean? But it's like, huh.
He's also using demons as part of his army.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Which is fucked and not right at all. But like so far as we've seen in the manga, his kingdom is a kingdom of peace until those demons get unlocked. Which who knows when the fuck's that gonna? It's gonna be like a second eclipse. It's gonna be fucked. But like he's just so like the way he's built up in Golden Age. Like truly, Guts and him are like best of pals, and Guts really does look up to him. And then something snaps with him when Guts is like, I'm going to leave. And then Griffith is like, I'm going to fight you for it. And like Guts does, within one swing, he's like, I would have lopped off your head. Leave me the fuck alone. And like Griffith just fucking shatters and throws everything the fuck away that he's ever done just to like, I don't even know, like just to feel something because he feels so abandoned. And then like even like the small details of like when they rescue him and like every time Guts is like carrying him, he like raises his hand and it's like, oh, he's trying to brace Guts. No, he's trying to literally choke him, but like he's so weak and frail that he can't. Or like, you know, with the stuff with Casa and stuff like that, it's just like, ugh, like he's very deranged. He's like pretty on the outside, dark on the inside. And yeah, I mean, he's just like the pinnacle of every anime villain ever. And yeah, what do you have to say that we haven't said a million times before about Berserk and Griffith and the Golden Age arc? Because like literally,
we have not talked about Berserk at all. We've never talked about it.
So one of our best thumbnails is Berserk with the Ninja Turtles. It's pretty sweet.
That is the greatest thumbnail. We've never did a full length review of the whole series at all. You're right, JJ. We never did. We never did do that.
Never.
No, I think what is interesting about Griffith is that like you said, like he transcends beyond his media. He exhibits this like really cool dark fantasy idea of the bright light hero
Hmm.
turn into uh, uh, turn into villain
Yeah.
because of you know taking on the like the dark forces, or literally a blood pact to gain power and strength.
Hmm.
And that's fun. I like when you take typical tropes of the knight in shining armor and turn him into like this dark evil force
Hmm.
of nature. um and especially the ending of
Yeah.
Berserk,
He
where he
like.
uses this
Hmm.
child, invades this land,
Hmm.
killing, like destroying this peaceful land of all these creatures, just to steal Casa again.
Dude, and
Like,
then the smile he gives Guts, he's like, okay, bye. And Guts is like, I couldn't even land a fucking blow on him. What the fuck? Like, what he
what was it
does
all
to
for?
Berserk, like, is so minimalist. Like, you just can't hurt me. Okay, goodbye. Like, he doesn't have to, like, fight Guts to fuck with him. He just has to appear, and Guts' whole existence is just like, fuck!
Yeah, I mean that's just trauma, baby. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
trauma.
yeah. Guts isn't filled with
And
trauma, though. Not at all.
nah, he's perfectly fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's fine.
He's cool.
Um, but yeah, those are our villains.
Hmm.
I think in our next stream we're gonna do protagonists.
Yeah.
Same idea.
If nothing's
5
going
best
on, then yeah.
protagonists. And then after that, who the freak knows?
Who
What we'll talk
knows?
about next. But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you guys for joining us in today's stream. JJ, do you have anything else you wanna add before we let the fine folk go back to their lives?
This week, probably Thursday or Friday, I will be posting my Mistborn trilogy review on my personal channel, so make sure to check that out. And we don't know when we're gonna stream next. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, it's gonna be protagonists, and I feel like this one we're just like, because villains are so fun to talk about and stuff with protagonists. It's just gonna be like, ew, you like him? Gross. like,
I
like,
think what's fun about talking about both is just
mhm.
like with villains, you try to see their point of view.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you want to understand their point of view. Where like with heroes, it's like
It's
it's
like,
pretty
I
obvious what
like
their point of
Deku
view
because
is.
he's pure of heart. It's like, ew, Deku fucking sucks.
That guy's lame.
There's
You're
more, like,
lame.
ironically, like, villains do the most evil shit, but the discord around villains is like, yes, that's a good point about this villain. That's very philosophical, very good, very nice. Whereas, like, with protagonists, it's like, I like Sora because he has a key and he beats up Disney characters. And it's like, well, Sora's gay. It's just like,
Yeah, literally. It's just
yeah.
like it's like you have, because like that's what I'm saying. Like what makes villains interesting is that they have like their arcs are more flushed out, whereas the hero,
Yeah.
like the reason why they're kind of like one note or boring
Hmm.
is because like you're supposed to feel like you're the hero.
Yeah, yeah. And then exactly, I think that's it too. It's like, ew, so you identify with Deku? That's disgusting. Have you I know we don't usually watch our TikToks, we just send them to keep up the streak or whatever, but like, have you seen the ones that like where it's the ASMR Deku, where he's just like, and then I felt Kanchan in my mouth.
No,
Like
I
that
have
shit.
not
Oh
seen
my
those,
god.
dude. What
Oh,
the fuck are
oh
you
my
talking
god.
about?
We should do it. Oh, we should do an anime cringe watch, like on stream. That would be like, each of us pick out like a bunch of cringe anime stuff and just like don't cringe at all. Like
Try not to
try
react.
not to react challenge. Like, like that would be so.
That would
good.
be crazy.
Like
That'd be crazy.
we essentially did that with the ASMR. Your anime girlfriend gets in a car accident or whatever it was, and we were just dying. I feel like I want to clip that and just put it on the channel, just be like, or put it as like a YouTube short or something like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, so tune in soon. You'll get a notification when we're going on live and stuff like that, and stay tuned for my Mistborn trilogy review. It's gonna be super awesome. Not to toot my own horn. And then eventually one of us will do a video essay. I don't want to force myself to make a video essay. I want to like really be like, okay, I'm really into this. Let me put my all into
Yeah.
it. editing and stuff like that. But like, yeah, stay tuned, guys, and thank you guys so much for the support. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and share with all your friends. Is there anything you want to say? That gift card is happening, by the way. If you comment below, that gift card will happen.
DM me directly your social, and
yeah.
you will definitely
Yes.
get the gift card.
Yes, you
so
will get,
please,
either an Amazon gift card or a lobotomy. Whatever you want.
you'll get access to my X page.
Yeah, yeah,
My Twitter X page. You can post
Good.
on there.
Yeah, fantastic. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it. Anything else you want to say to the people?
Get a life, you fucking nerd.
Damn. Okay. Wow.